Hey guys, it's Junior again. Welcome back to Horsepower Warehouse. Today I wanted to talk with you guys about some of my favorite products that I use for paint protection. So as you can see behind me, I have my 2019 Tacoma TRD Pro. I bought this truck brand new, and typically every 6 months I go ahead and do a protection program on it. So we have basically 3 different products that you have available for paint protection. You have your Carnauba wax, your polymer sealant, and then your ceramic coating or quartz coating or whatever you want to call it. I will go through the differences in my experience of these 3 products and what I ultimately end up using on all my own stuff. So let me turn around the camera and kind of show you guys my detailing rack here. Basically, for the Carnauba, that's the basic old school style way of doing it. So you have your mothers, there's a cleaner Carnauba. I like 3D products, so they have what's called their HD epoxy. It's a hybrid wax. This stuff is excellent. It comes off really easy. That's why I prefer it. And it will bead water on a vehicle that sits outside for a minimum of a month. So that's a really great product to use if you're gonna go with the Carnauba. Ultimately, what I end up using on all my vehicles is the Polymer Sealant. That's kind of the next step up. The Polymer Sealants will actually bead water for 6 months and up to a year on a vehicle that is garaged like mine and it's not driven daily. You can see my 2007 Tacoma that we have out here. The Polymer Sealant gets done every 3 months on that truck, and it literally bakes in the sun. It gets washed maybe once every month, if that. I absolutely beat on the paint of this vehicle, but as you can see, for 2007, I mean, it's really, really nice. I know it's really, really dirty right now because I haven't washed it in a long time, but it has preserved the clear coat to where the paint isn't fading or doing any silliness, no oxidation or anything like that. So I have my new truck here. And of course, the last option that you have when you're going to do paint protection, and this is something that I kind of got pulled into. I did a bunch of research and everyone's doing the ceramic coatings, right? And the ceramic coatings, they say last up to a year. It'll just roll water off for indefinitely or so until you have to have it redone again. But here's the problem with the quartz. And you can see I have Pinnacle from Auto Geek. I have Radiance Ice. This is actually a brand new kit that I haven't opened yet. That was like a $120 kit. This is the poly clay that I was referring to earlier. Fine grade. This is just basically for decontaminating the paint. You can use that with the vehicle still soapy and watery, or you can use a lubricant, typical clay bar. But as you can see, this is the quartz coating, and that's the quartz coating that I have available right now. This stuff is a monster to use, whereas the Jescar Polymer Lock, you leave this on for 30 to 45 minutes or even up to overnight, and it literally just buffs right off with a microfiber. Exact same stuff with the HD epoxy. This stuff is excellent. It comes off really easy, and for a Carnauba, this is my favorite Carnauba to use. If you were to use mothers all over your vehicle, let it sit on there for an hour and then try to buff it right out, it won't come off. The Mother's synthetic wax that I have is a Carnauba base wax, and this stuff comes off really easy, but it won't shed water for more than 2 weeks. The Colonite insulator wax, this is some old school style stuff, but I love to use this. I mean, automotive, RV, marine, aeronautical, you can put it on anything. This is a high quality product, but again, it doesn't last nearly as long as the Jescar does. So this is my go-to. This stuff is absolutely excellent. As you can see, made in the place that you would want it from. There's a quick look at the directions. Basically, it says let it sit for half an hour and then you can buff it right out with a clean microfiber. When I do my application of sealants, I use the Auto Geek pads, and you can see this is basically designed for applying sealants and glazes, so it won't scratch. I have all the different colors of pads for all the different steps, like the cutting pads, the glazing, polishing, glaze, and so forth. I'm kind of low on my pad selection right now. Also, I have basically the quick waxes. This is probably the best quality quick wax that you can get on the market, but it does not come off easy. I greatly prefer the Gryet's Garage for just in between. So if it were to get any bird crap or bugs on the front of it, I will either use the Gratz Garage, or 3D has this waterless car wash that's made for that. This is also really excellent stuff. Doesn't streak or anything like that. The Chemical Guys has their own brand of spray wax, this Blazing Banana. I haven't used it a whole lot. You can see I still have most of it left. I just wasn't as impressed with that as I am with the 3D or the Sonax offerings. But basically, if you were to get into a quartz type scenario, you have to do it in a 1 foot by 1 foot section, and you basically have to buff it off as you go. You cannot apply it to the entire vehicle, and it is an absolute nightmare to get off if you were to put it all over your car and then try to buff it off in one go, kind of like I do with my polymer sealant. This stuff is best reserved to be used by a professional only. Don't try to do it yourself or you're gonna ruin your paint unless you are really gifted as a detailer. I know what I'm doing, and I could really easily mess up a vehicle. That's why I've only used this stuff once. I used it on my wife's 2018 Camry. You can see poking out there. It's a Galactic Aqua Mica car, so it was a special order color. Really beautiful car. I did the quartz on it when it was brand new, and honestly, it shed water for maybe 6 months. So I got probably the same performance that I get out of my polymer sealant. And of course, you know, the Carnauba is a month, maybe 2, in a scenario where you keep the car clean and you're garaging it. Down here in Florida, UV is what really, it just degrades even polymer sealant, quartz. The UV just bakes into it, and it seems to make the protection not last nearly as long. Well, I'm talking about my favorite products here. 3D makes an LVP conditioner. This is leather vinyl plastic. Sonax makes the best leather care stuff you can get. The Meguiar's Endurance tire gel doesn't sling. Best stuff you can get for the tires. If you're cleaning off your wheels, I highly suggest looking into this, CarPro Iron X. This stuff is the nastiest smelling stuff I've ever used in my life in terms of a detailing product, but it is also the best working stuff that I've used on my wheels to get off brake dust and things like that. What else do we got here? The bug remover. This stuff doesn't work at all. I haven't found a bug remover that really does work, even when used with a bug scrubber. And these things are aggressive. I mean, they scratch the absolute crap out of your paint, and it's still love bug season. I mean, that's real big for us here in Florida, and the love bugs are just atrocious. The bug remover doesn't even touch the love bugs. So I've just found that weekly washing and just fighting it out. I prefer something a little less aggressive like this. It's a lot softer. It's a mesh with a foam. This stuff will scratch the crap out of your paint, so you probably want to avoid those unless you are not nearly as anal as I am about swirls. Speaking of good products to buy, Platinum Series microfibers available at Walmart. I think it's 15 bucks for a 30 pack, so 50 cents a piece. Those are excellent microfibers. And as you can see, I have a whole big selection of microfibers of top dollar stuff from Auto Geek. I end up using the Walmart ones. You could see what I have up in here. My 2 separate clean and not clean microfibers from Walmart, or at least the Platinum Series, highly recommended. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to continue. I have the truck about halfway done right now. You can see I basically tape off the emblems. I tape off all of the black plastic. So anytime you use a polymer, a Carnauba, a quartz, you don't want it to get on your plastics because it will turn them chalky and white and just create all sorts of problems. The same thing with the emblems. Now I will say with the polymer sealant, I mean, I go right over my decals. It really soaks into it. I don't know if you guys can tell in this light. I have about half the truck done right now. I have the driver's side done. And it actually makes the decal a lot darker. It soaks in and preserves it, makes it smooth and slick. You can see this is the side of the truck that I have not done yet. This truck has already been decontaminated. I washed it. I did a clay bar just to make sure that it didn't need anything underneath. So that way when I'm sealing it, I'm sealing in nice paint. And you can see it probably took me 15 minutes to tape off this truck. This was just a quick sloppy job. I'm just trying to keep my polymer sealant off of it, off the places that I don't want to apply it. It's just a lot easier to tape it off than fight it off later on. If you've stuck with me this long, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe. Check out that guy. New license plate I got. I actually bought this for the car reviews that I'm going to be doing because I have so many cool cars that I want to review at the warehouse. So I figured I'd step up my game a little bit. But thank you so much for joining me. Please like, subscribe, comment below. If there's anything else you want to see, I'm more than happy to oblige. And until next time, thank you. Take care.